Good morning. Good morning, Linda. Looks like Sarah's there telling me good morning too. Judith is out in Kentucky, and welcome, Judith. Want to make sure that you all can hear me okay. I did set my settings um, for my microphone, but want to be sure it's coming out. So if you could just let me know, am I coming through? Hi, Lori. Good morning. We have some fun stuff for this morning. We are actually going to do the artisan. Okay, so we're good now. Okay, good morning, Nora, Roxanne. This morning we're going to look at our artisan circle set. Hi, Regina, my friend. How are you? Thomas here too. Welcome from North Carolina. As you guys probably figured out, or as you know, Wednesday mornings I usually end up being alone, and I apologize for that. That my bestie who usually helps me on Wednesday morning is actually having surgery today and won't be able to be here with us. So I will try diligently to Hi, Christina from Sweden. I will try diligently to make sure that I get to each one of your questions and answer them best I can. If there is something else that you need, just go ahead and message me or text me, or go to my Facebook page, leave me a little message there, and I'll get back to you. Artisan curves are really cool. There are so many things that we can do with artisan curves, and as I was playing with them, I wanted to show you something I came up with. Most of us as quilters are familiar with a quilting uh, design called egg and dart. I figured out how we could do egg and dart as a circle. Isn't that cool? I love it. I absolutely love it. Good morning, Karen. MW, welcome. Welcome, Linda. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you're all here. So we're gonna give this a shot. I did write down how I did it so I wouldn't forget, because you guys know me. Memory lasts about as well as a hot cup of coffee. Artisan curves. Artisan curves are usually, I say usually, it's 99.9% done with a tack. Okay. And what gives the artisan curves the ability to do so many different things is because when you look at them, I'm going to get that out of the way there, you can see all of these little holes that we can put our tack in. So we have got a plethora of designs that can be made. This is all of the circle set. Okay, there's quite a few. Um, I do have them all simply because I think they're so cool. Now, one thing I do want to mention here for you, I'm going to turn it right side up here. This is the Artisan Curve 1, and they are numbered up to 7. So we go 1 through 7. And what this one is a 1/4 inch circle. The new ones come with a needle channel. They don't come with the gates. Okay. So I envy you guys if you don't have them yet or are planning to get them. You will get them with the needle guides. I guess I don't have to tell everybody over again how jealous I am over the needle guides. Everybody who knows me knows that by now. So we have our 1/4 inch circle, and we'll just go down the line. You probably can guess what is next. It's our artisan curves number 2, 5/2 inch, 0.5 inch circle. And then we're going to come with number 3 is a 1 inch circle. And number 4, I've got them all mixed up here, is a 1.5 inch circle. I love how they're marked. Makes it very, very easy. So now I'm looking for, there we go. Artisan Curves 5 is a 2-inch circle. 6 is a 2.5-inch circle. And 7 is a 3-inch circle. Now, what I want you to notice as well is I have got 32 lines on here. Do I need them? No, I don't need that many. I really don't. I just put them on there because I want to hopefully make sure that we have the appropriate markings for what I want to show you this morning. Okay, good morning, Matt, Hilda, and Melinda's here, Sandy's here, Kim, RFD, happy. Oh, Snellville, Georgia. How cool. Jan, good morning. She is in Texas this morning. I hope you guys aren't too warm down there. So let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing I want to show you is kind of cool. But what it's going to do is it's going to show us exactly how each size is going to look. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my half or my 1/4-inch circle, excuse me. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put it on 8. I'm going to put it on number 8. Now, what does number 8 mean? Does that mean it's 8 inches from here to the circle on the other side? And the best way to tell that, I'm going to pull out some tools here, is I'm going to come in here with my ruler, and by golly, it certainly is. So from the top of this circle to the top of the circle on the other side is going to be 8 inches. And that's what this means. So from the tack to the top here is 4. And then if we double it, of course, it'll be 8. Now, when we're doing this particular design, we are not going to be able, I'm sorry, I need to readjust here. Just a second, guys. Rhonda's here. Good morning. Rhonda is another Michigander. Awesome. Okay, there we go. Now I can reach it. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start each one of these circles that I'm going to put in here at the bottom. And the end result is really kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put my needle down. Now what I've got here is, I just have, of course, a practice piece. You guys are getting familiar with this color fabric as a practice piece. The other thing too is, of course, I've got a high contrast thread on top so you can see. What you won't see is that I have a red bobbin thread in there. And the reason I do that is because I'm using the bobbins. This is a great way to empty some of those bobbins. Okay, that didn't take long, did it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the pin. I'm going to raise my foot. And there is the 1/4 inch. Can you guys see how small that is? It's incredibly small. Would I have uses for that? Absolutely. It's cool. Okay, so I'm going to next go to my number 2, which is a 1/2-inch circle. Now I need to remove gates. I'm going to pull this down. What you're going to notice is each time we put a template on, we're going to have to come down. This is going to be 8.5 inches, which means from the top of this circle all the way over here is going to be 8.5 inches. Okay, I'm just going to move those over there. I'm going to line up on my line. Remember, I'm at the bottom of my circle here. I'm going to go around and place another one. I think this is the thing I really enjoy most with these templates. This is just fun. It's just fun stuff. Well, good morning, Janice. How are you this morning? I'm coming down through your town early or later this morning. Laura, good morning. Um, yeah, so I'll be down through your town. Is there anything you need, Janice, that I could drop off for you? If so, why don't you go ahead and text me? And I'd be happy to do that on my way down. Okay, so this was 8.5. So now we're going to go to the number 9. Oh, we aren't. We're going to go to 9.5 on this one. Okay, again, 1-inch circle. We've done a quarter. We've done a half. Now we're going to do 1. Remember, when we're doing circles and curves, we want shorter stitch length because we can only stitch in a straight line. Our machines cannot stitch a curved line. Can you imagine the limitations we have? Actually, we don't. Good evening from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome here. It's good to see you here. Yes, Linda, I am lining up the bottom of the circle. Every time I start, I am starting on the bottom. Okay, so what I do is I just put the template in and the tack will fall where it needs to be. So I don't have to remember the combination of where each tack has to be placed. This is actually, I think, one of the simplest things to do with this. And you can see what's going on here now. I think it'd be cool to do cornerstones like this. Okay, we're going to take this one off, and this is our 1.5-inch circle. Are you guys getting bored with this yet? We only have a couple more to go. Okay, now I've got my 2-inch circle. And on these templates, you do not need to put staple tape on both sides. They're always going to go in one direction, okay? Linda, I am right there with you. I agree. This would be cool to do with ovals. And our artisan curves come in a lot of different shapes. We will be exploring those as time goes on. Here we go. And with my evening class, or my evening demonstration, I should say, it's definitely not a class. What we're doing is we're pulling out random templates from a basket, and we're using that each week. And what I'm doing with my morning group, which is you all, and I'm very happy you're here, Linda from Ontario. Thank you so much, Linda. Love having you here. So what I'm doing with you guys is, you guys, can you tell I'm a Uber? I am going in alphabetical order. I figured, that would be kind of cool to go in alphabetical order. So that's what we're doing. Each week we get together. I am going to be doing the next template in the alphabet. So it's kind of fun doing it. And, I actually have templates that I've not ever used. So not only is this a cool thing for you guys to see and to be able to say, hey, I really like that one. I think I could make a lot of use out of it. It's also going to get me using each one and hopefully coming up with some class ideas. Pam is here from Maine. Good morning. Bertia is here from Costa Rica. And Mary from Minnesota. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, it's so awesome to have you all here. I absolutely love coming here on Wednesday mornings and seeing you all and just giving you some ideas. Like I said, it's not a pattern, it's not a class, it's just to show you all how these templates work. Now check this out. This is my last circle, okay? I look at this and I think of things like templing. I also think of things like Derwent pencils. I think of some of the awesome things that we can do with this. It would be awesome on a cornerstone. Now remember, this is just practice. I'm not going to bury my threads. Okay, so this is the sizes of the circles. If you came like this, and considering it's summertime, I definitely want to do this. The key is finding my 12-inch arc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here right at the bottom. I'm going to drop my needle down. There we go. I'm just going to come over like one stitch. That's it, one stitch. And I need my spacing gauge. So my spacing gauge here should be 1/4 plus one stitch. And that looks perfect. Okay, so off we're going to go here. Can any of you guess what it is I'm making here? Jan, good morning. Oh, thank you. Oh, Jan, I've already said good morning to you. Linda, too. Yeah, isn't that cool? Now I'm going to come 2 stitches right to that side. I'm going to put, I like it in my left hand. Isn't that funny? I'm sure you guys are like that too. You like your 12-inch arc in one hand or the other. Up, we're going to go right back to the bottom of our curve. And I'm, going to take this out. And wouldn't this make just the cutest border around a baby quilt? Color in the different rings here. It's a lollipop, guys. It is a lollipop. Oh, Linda already guessed it. Oh, Linda, you're ahead of me. How awesome. Isn't that cool? I just really, really enjoy doing this. And it would be cool if you had the template here or the colored pencils. I think that would really add something. Okay. So let me show you a little more on how these designs can be used. The versatility of them. Yes, Aura, it does look 3D like that, doesn't it? Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. It does. Can you imagine doing this all the way around? Oh, I think my head would fall off. Okay, so here's some examples that Leonie put in, and we're going to do something like this. And look, just using half of them and coming around. I think I'd like to show you that one as well. And this, I think this is gorgeous. I love this. It's using a half of a circle and a whole circle. But wouldn't that make an absolutely gorgeous flower? And you could come in here on the inside and use one of your mini spin effects. Like I said, so much opportunity. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I think what I'll do is I'll take one of the medium size And that means I'm going to take the 1.5-inch circle. We're going to work on that next, okay? And again, I'm just going to do a little bit here. I'm not going to do a whole lot of each one because there's so many things that we can do. So what we're going to do here is, if I come here, I think it's easier to explain. Okay, so what I've done is I've come down. I just want this easier to explain. And I am going to start on my horizontal center. This is my horizontal center line. Each template has a horizontal center line. And if you look, it's right here. Okay. Each template also has a vertical center line with the numbers. And we already talked about the numbers. They represent inches. Okay, I'm going to come up a little bit more. Ooh, I dropped it. Well, hello. I didn't reach my usual 9 drops last night, so I'm making up for that tonight. Or this morning, I'm sorry. Forget what time of day it is. And come down just a little bit more. There we go. So what I'm doing is I want to line up these two lines so that they're 1/4 of an inch away from the template. And I'm just going to kind of adjust them because most patterns are going to tell us exactly where we need to be. Okay, there we go. I had it right the first time, but of course I have to play to make sure. So each time I'm moving this template, and I'm going to turn it around this way so you can see better. I'm lining up my vertical center, and I want to make sure that, okay, that my needle is going to come down on this line and it's going to finish on this line. So how do we make sure of that? Well, we can use our spacing gauge. That would be the logical way, wouldn't it? And if you look here, I hope you can see that well. Okay. Good morning, Rachel. Rachel is here with us from Oklahoma. Patricia from Minnesota. Welcome. Okay, today we are doing circles on quilts, we're doing artisan curves. Okay, and we're doing the circle set. And these sets can so easily be intermingled with each other. You can come up with some really awesome designs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my first stitch in place. Around we're going to go. And I'm going to stop at my halfway mark, which is right under my tape. Now I'm just going to spin my circle and I'm going to stitch around. Again, remembering to keep those stitches just a little bit smaller than we normally do. Okay, I'm going to go one more time here. And we're going to go around. I think we'll go one more time because that'll give me more opportunity to show you all what the design is that I'm going for. And there we go. And we're going to stop right there. I'm going to take my needle and my foot up. Patricia, Rachel is here. Yep, I already said good morning to you guys. Just want to make sure I don't miss anyone, especially being here by myself. Okay. And my dog is looking at me like I'm talking to myself, and she's wondering what I am doing. You'd think she'd be used to this by now, wouldn't you? Okay, so what we can do here is we can move this out And we can come here, putting that halfway mark on the tip of the rotation prior to where we are at. Okay, and what I'm talking about is just grazing the top of this, coming over to here. Okay, and I need to make a little adjustment, which is fine. These are very forgiving templates. If you need to make an adjustment, it's okay. And there we go. I'm going to pull this up. Now remember, this is with the same size. You can also go larger. And down we're going to go. Put my needle down. Take that first stitch in place. For those of you who don't know, okay, I'm going to get to the top here because I've got to turn this just a little bit to make sure I'm 1/4 of an inch away from that line. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, the reason that I take my first stitch in place is because I'm an expert at toe catchers. Okay, Kathy, welcome. I'm glad you made it. So anyway, when I take that first step in place, as you can see here, I tend to not make as many toe catchers. Okay, now this one I need to adjust as well because there is my center, but it's not the center on my template. So we're just going to adjust that a little bit there, come around and finish that up. And I'm going to move again, and you'll see. Now, this is an inherent issue when you're using the same size template. If I were using a larger one, I would not have to make these adjustments. So come down here. Okay, the slide over here, and we're just going to come to the end, which is this line right here. Okay, lift it up, and you'll see it's really kind of cool. It does, I think it works a little better if we change the size of our templates, but I wanted to show you that even just with 1 or 2 templates, you have options. You really do. Now what I'm going to do, hi Danielle, awesome, from Quebec. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and I'm going to put this at 1/4 of an inch. Oh, perfect. I never get things right the first time. It's a rule, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this down and pull that thread up. And I'm going to start at the top, but we're going to, whoops, wrong button. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go all the way around. And then on my second rotation, I'm going to go 3/4 of the way around. I want to stop at this halfway mark. And then I am going to just push my template over. I'm going to get rid of some thread here in the way. Push this over, and I'm just going to keep going. Remembering that when we're doing this, we're going to go in a clockwise and a counterclockwise direction each time so that the heavier stitching is on the top for 1 rotation and on the bottom for 1 rotation. What that does is it evens it out for our eyes. Our eyes are really pretty miraculous because what they do is they will compensate for things for us. And this is just one of those things that they compensate for. Okay. Yeah, I went the same way twice. That's okay. It's just practice. Okay, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to go to the top. How many of you would absolutely love to take this 1/4 inch circle and go all the way around? This is a long way to go with a 1/4 inch circle. The closer you get to the center, the fewer number of circles that you will need to stitch. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. Isn't that cool? I mean, I just love that. And you can put that whole stitch all the way around like this. Will it take a while? Yep, absolutely. It will take a while. But let me show you what happens if I do it closer to the center. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and line myself up here. Put my foot down, needle down and back up. Pull that bobbin thread. And it's anybody's guess what color bobbin thread I'm going to have on a given day for practice. Need to clip it back here. The other thing that I do when I'm practicing, when I need to put a tack in, I will put tape over it so it doesn't fall out. I have a bad habit of losing tacks on the floor, and I have 3 dogs who love to be up here with me. And I don't want them to get a tack in their paw or me a tack in my foot. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and twist and come back, and you'll see how quickly this fills in when going a lot closer to the center. Okay, and just keep going all the way around. That's it. That's literally it. You can do this with any size as well. Whoops, I just dropped something here. Okay, so there we go. That is probably the smallest circle you will ever stitch. That is a 1/4 inch circle. That is tiny. Okay, let's go ahead and clean some threads up here. Make sure that and you see what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've taped over the top of my tack. It falls out a lot on me, and I think it's just the way that I stitch and pull it over. So Linda loves the little circles. Awesome, Linda. I'm glad. I am so glad to hear that. Okay, now what I want to show you. I want to show you, and where is our book here? I want to show you how you can stitch this. Okay. Did I do? Yeah, I did this one. This one is kind of fun. What we need is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we only need 8 rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, 16 rotations. How many do we need here? Let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 rotations. So we're going to use our 6-point ruler for that. Okay. We can also do this, which is basically exactly the same as this. But what we're doing is we're putting a whole circle in between the half circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rotations on this one. Let's go ahead, because I don't have a 6 rotation one already marked out. Let's go ahead and do this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to use, and you know me, I just need to make sure that I have some numbers. So I'm going to use this as number 1. Whoops, wrong way. This is going to be number 2. Do I write on my stuff? Yeah, I do. I do this when I am making practices. And it really is a good idea to practice before you stitch it on your quilt. Okay. It just helps. It just helps to make sure that you get everything where it needs to be. Okay, so let's do, instead of a 1.5 inch, let's do a 2 inch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to make a whole rotation. I'm going to start at the bottom. Only because I like to. I don't know why. Does it matter? Not at all. Not at all. Whatever you are most comfortable with is the way you should stitch. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make one complete rotation here. I like also to hold these threads back until I get going, because that way I know I won't end up with, oh, which one? Okay. You won't end up with a thread nest on the bottom. Kathy Dewey just asked, if buying the 24 or 32 grid, which would you purchase first? Well, that's easy to tell you because I did purchase the 24 first. And then I decided after purchasing the 24, I needed the 32. So, a month later, payday, yep, I got the 32 as well. They are so handy. The one thing I want to caution, and this isn't a caution, it's just a fact, okay? I use the Clover Chalk liner. I know a lot of you girls use this too. And it has this beautiful duckbill. It fits into almost every one of our crosshair rulers. This does not fit in the 24 or 32. It's just a little too chunky for that. Okay. What you can do, there's a couple things you can do. One, use this type of pencil when you're doing it. The disadvantage to this type of pencil is you have to erase it. It doesn't iron off. I'm lazy. I don't like erasing. Okay. So, what you can do, and this works really well, take a nail file and just file it down a little bit. Not too much. Do a little at a time on both sides. Oops. And you'll get that to fit. And it's a process. Don't try and overfile it and then set it in the ruler. I just happen to have a 24 point here that I used last night. And I'm just going to pull this out. So I'm going to file a little at a time, try it, and just keep filing it down until you get it to fit. But as I said, make it a slow process, because you don't want to file it too far down, or what'll happen when you put it in the 6 point, 8 point, the bigger ones, it'll get floppy a little bit. But the worst thing would be going through this plastic and having the powder coming out everywhere. You don't want that. This does work, guys. It really does. And remember, there we go. I'm going to tamp it down a little bit. This is how we open it. I use a mayonnaise container to put my chalk into and to fill it up. And I'm just going to set that down. I want to show you exactly how I do that, okay? This is it. This is it. I picked it up at Walmart, 2 for $1 or something like that. They were really cheap. What happens then is I'll go ahead and take this top off carefully. There we go. I'll go ahead and just do this, give it a little squeeze, and it will fill it up with powder. Come up. Well, I need a little more than that. There we go. Now I got it filled. Put my cap back on. Oh, I guess you guys didn't see that good. I'm sorry. This goes right here, and then just give it a little squeeze, and the powder comes out and goes in your chalk liner. Set that off to the side. Put this part back on. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? Then what you want to do is you want to clean up your mess. Just like that, or with a tissue. The reason being is you don't want your spouse or your children to think you're snorting something that you shouldn't be. Okay? There, all cleaned up, ready to rock and roll again. Okay? So don't be afraid of using these tools and altering them to make them work for you. My dad always said, work smarter, not harder. I do believe he was right. Probably never told him that, but he knows, right? He knows. Okay, so back into the center. I digress. That was a little off subject, but it might be a good one for us to remember. I am getting loves from Regina and Linda, both happy that I shared that. Thank you so much. Okay, there we go. Just had to get some more caffeine into this old system to get it going. Okay, so here we go. We're going to come all the way around, and we're going to make, I'm not gonna go all the way 3/4 of the way back. I only want 1/4. So I'm going to sew this direction. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to sew till that halfway mark. And I'm going to stop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my template and I'm going to stitch on the bottom half only. Again, I'm going to stop at my halfway mark, which is partially obscured with tape, unfortunately. Now again, I'm going to go ahead and slide that template over, and this time I'm going to go in a clockwise direction. Now what you're probably going to notice on here is all of my lines are not necessarily adding up. Some of these designs aren't made for the number of lines that I have. And you know what? That's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, down I go. Now I'm just going to stitch the bottom half again. Is this or is this not a really cool design? I love this. And it will go all the way around. And now I'm going to stitch the whole design. The whole circle here. Around we're going to go. And back over the top. I could go on the bottom, but I am going on the top on each one of these just to keep it more consistent. Okay, we're going to do one more bottom portion here. and stop at that halfway mark. Thank you, Mary. Mary says she loves my tips. I appreciate that. Karen says love. Thank you. And so does Sharon. Sharon actually is laughing at me, and I know why. She got that powder that powder comment. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Is that cool or is that cool? I just love these. I really just love these templates. There's so much we could do with them. You know what we can do in here is we can come in and make a free motion. Let's do a little swirl just for the sake of saying we can do this, right? Okay. Free motion quilting is where I got started in quilting my own quilts. And it was before I had a long arm. And at that point, I came to love Quilt As You Go. Absolutely fell in love with it. And with the rulers and the templates, whoops, I got off a little bit there, no worries. We have so much opportunity. Speed it up just a little bit. Now, if you didn't want to do free motion, what you could do is use different sizes of your circles, and this would be perfect. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me stitch all the way back out. But there's a free motion idea for you. I'll give you one more. And I know that you all are good enough that you can do these things if you wish. Okay, this is going to be a real easy one, okay? Pull that thread up. Put it back down and put my needle in. If you all know how to write an S, you know how to make this right there. See how easy that is? Want you guys, don't be afraid to just explore different options and opportunities. And don't be afraid to spread those wings and fly, okay? Because that's what we really are trying to help, giving you ideas that you can jump off from, okay? Not just copying what I do, not just copying what all the other hi Marcia. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We are recorded. But just as starting off points, just jumping off from where we are. Okay, here it is. The egg and dart. I know you guys have been waiting for this. I saved it for last. The egg and dart, what we're going to do is we are going to use the number 2 and the number 4 templates. Okay, so I'm going to pull those out. Number 2 and number 4. There's number 3. There's number 2. No, I couldn't have used the number 2. Okay, so how do we know what we did before? You know what? We can use any one we want, and it's going to work. I'm going to use this one. We do need our lines, though, for this one. Okay. And get it up here a little further. I want you to see it really well. What we're doing is we're using the lines and the lines only. So, well, come on, thread, you can do this. What I'm going to do, because I have so many lines in here, I'm going to go from this line, skip the next two lines, and end at this line. So I'm putting my vertical center through the middle. I'm involving 1, 2, 3, 4 reference lines. And I am putting my vertical center right through the center of that. Somebody's going to say, well, how do I know where the center is? You can eyeball it. Does it have to be perfect? Heck no, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. And my stitching's not perfect. But I'm going to go ahead and I am going to do this particular design this way. Okay, so I'm not going all the way up to my halfway. Okay, I am just going to go up about a quarter of the way. So if you go between here and here, it's a little over halfway. But again, this is where you eyeball. And you guys are good enough to eyeball these things. I have complete and utter confidence in you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to come back up and I'm going to turn. Okay, yeah. That's not going to work with these lines. That's okay though. I really don't even need the lines once I get going. And I'm going to do one more. Now I'm back in exactly where I need to be. Okay. We're just going to come over one more time. I'm going to stop right there. Okay, so there is the first pass right here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same template. Okay. Well, I can't get it in here exactly where I want it. There we go. Come on. There we go. I knew I'd succeed eventually. Okay, yeah, that's exactly where I want to go. So now I'm going to start again about a little over a quarter of the way. And this is where these nice, handy little arrows come in. Okay. I'm going to come back and put that foot down and put my needle down. And off we're going to go. And I want to make sure that I end up, I think I needed to be one more down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move this down one more time. So that first one's going to be a little goofy looking. There we go. And we're going to line it up again. Spacing gauge. Yeah, that's where I want it to end. There we go. I'm putting it on my number 8. Actually, I think I need to go down to number 7. Yep, there we go. And we're going to stop right there, turn, and there we go. If I had the lines drawn on here correctly, it would be a lot easier. It would look more even, okay? Okay, hi, Jean. Yeah, was number 2 and number 4 for the pin. Linda, I'm not really sure I understand. Oh, these pins. Is this the numbers you're talking about? This is what happens. Now, like I said, I have too many lines in here, and that's what's throwing me. That will throw me. That's just the way I am. I apologize for that. But if you look here, and it drew out perfectly, okay? So what I've got here is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16. So I've got 32 lines here. And the 32 lines makes it work out perfectly. Now, what size template did I use? Well, look at here. I can tell you exactly what size template I used. And I put it on number 9 for the top. And I went from the horizontal center to the horizontal center. Okay? So with 32 reference lines. Yes, MW, I do too. If you have a piece of paper and pen handy, this is where you should write this down. I used Artisan circles, Artisan curves, number 4, the 1.5 inch circle. I used 32 reference lines. I put the pin in at number 9 and went from horizontal to horizontal line on the top of the template. Turned it, made another one. Okay. Then what I did is I came up to number 11. No, I didn't either, did I? I know why. That I need to change my template. And where did I put my other templates? Oh, you guys, I'm so good at losing those, right? Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate it when I do that. Correct. Okay. So this is a 1.5. So now I need the 2 inch. Okay. 1 inch, 1/4 inch, 2.5 inch. Can you believe I cannot find my 2 inch? Huh, if it was any closer, it would have bit me. Okay, so then I'm going to go all the way around with the 1.5 inch. Then what I am going to do is I am going to put the 2 inch on. The tack will go in the number 12. Pull this back a little. So we've got the tack in number 12. And what we're going to do is we are just going to stitch 1/4 of the way up. So we're going to start here and we're going to stop 1/4 way up. We're going to stop when we hit the next line. From here to here. And we're going to stop at that line. We're going to twist it. and then we're going to stitch over the center, and then we're going to stop at the next line. So we aren't really using this part of our template to measure. We're using the reference lines to measure. Again, our 1.5 inch circle, the pin should be in the number 9 position. Line up the vertical center line and stitch from line to line. Turn and go from line to line. Okay? Then we're going to replace the 2 with the 2-inch circle. And that one is going to be on the 9-inch line. Did we just do the top or did we just do the bottom? Oh, we're going to do the bottom now. We're going to put it on the number 12 slot here, and we're going to go from line to line. Twist it and go from line to line. Remember, 32 reference lines. 2-inch circle, and that's going to be on the number 12 tack. We're going to go from line to line at the bottom. Our 1.5 inch circle, which will be on number 9. Oops, number 9 here. We're going to go from line to line around the top. And that is going to make an egg and dart in a circle. Why do you need a different size circle, Donna asked. MW, thank you. Thank you. I do love the circle egg and dart. You need a different circle size because here you're going on the inside. It's not as far. As coming. I'm sorry. This side is not as far apart as this side. And we're going from line to line. So what happens here, let me pull out a ruler. Let's take a look at this logically. So what you're doing here is from this dart to this dart is 2 inches. From this dart, I'm sorry, it's not either. It's 1.5. I do know how to read a ruler. But from this dart to this dart is 1 3/4 inches. So if you put the same template, which is this one, this one, what you'll see is it'll get really flat and it won't be equal. So what's going to happen is this circle will end up down here. And these darts will not be the same size. Does that make sense? It's all got to do with geometry, guys. We all know geometry is not my favorite math. But that is how the egg and dart is made. And it works beautiful. 32 point crosshairs, number 2 inch circle, and number 1.5 inch circle will put you right here. I can easily see an applique here. I can easily see some spin effects here with trompe-l'oeil. That would be stunning. You could trompe-l'oeil these little eggs here. There is so much that we can do with this set of templates. We're just touching the surface when we get together like this. As I said before, it's a jumping off point to get you going and to get your imaginations running wild with you. And that's exactly what we should do. I love seeing what you are accomplishing. Um, Now it makes sense, Sandy. Okay, good. A square. Do you have instructions for the square? Sandy, that's a real good question. We will be doing the square. So I want you to stay tuned because I think I have the square. If I don't, we will get it and we will do some with the square. Okay. Um, Donna, good. Glad you got it. Linda, thank you. Yeah, these are just really awesome templates, and it comes in an oval, comes in square, comes in marquee, comes in an iris, and we're going to go ahead and go through most of those. And like I said, if you were to use a straight line, egg, and dart, would you use the same size circle on both? Donna, yes, you would. Okay. It's only because we're doing it in a circle that we have to do a different size on the top and on the bottom. Straight line would be the same size, both top and bottom. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. We're going to, through this series, we're going to be doing a lot of different templates. And what I want to make sure we do is do the templates you guys want to see. If there is a particular template that you want to see, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me and let me know. We'll go ahead and throw it in the queue a little earlier than anticipated. No problem at all there. Okay. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Matt, Hilda, Sherry. I hope you come and see us next time. Next week on the evening, we are going to be doing Circles on Quilts Spinning Wheel 9. I have no idea what that looks like off the top of my head. So I'm going to have to pull it out and definitely take a look at it. In the meantime, please know that you can get a hold of me for any questions you have, comments. Please go to the instructor page and find my name there and leave comments. That is very important to us. Right now, I'm actually trying to work towards a higher certification, and your comments are definitely taken into account. Jan, you are so welcome. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I love how you explain when we have questions. Oh, Donna, thank you. Yeah, you need to understand it. I already do it, but you need to understand it. You guys, I want to say Happy Canadian Day to our Canadian friends, which was actually the day before yesterday. And to our U.S. friends, enjoy the Independence Day celebration this week. And we will see you here again next week. So, in the interim, let's quilt.